Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in this video, we're talking about burying the dead. Burying the dead. What are things we should do while burying the dead, and what are things we try to avoid while burying the dead. So these are things we're talking about. And the picture we have on the slide, we'll talk about that very soon. Bury the dead. The things we should do while burying the dead. First of all, you have to avoid unnecessary delay. Avoid unnecessary delay, while burying the dead, because as Muslims, Professor Sallam encouraged us to, always bury our dead early. So if the person happens to be a good person, then you burying the person early, would help the person because he's a good person and he has a lot of good things, to meet up with in the grave. But if the person happens to be otherwise, then you are relieving yourself. You are relieving yourself from his evil. So whichever way it is better. It is good, to bury the dead early, so you avoid unnecessary delay. So like some people, they delay their dead by weeks, by months, and so on. So this is against the sunnah of the prophet. So the sunnah of the prophet is that you bury your dead early. So as soon as a person has been confirmed dead, you begin the operations. That is, you begin to think of how to go about all these things. That is the bathing, the washing of the dead, the solar upon the dead, the so many things, the shrouding of the dead, so and the like. So you begin to think of all this. So and also digging in lahd manner, the lahd manner. So like I have in the picture, the right side. So digging in lahd manner. So that is what is called lahd. So you dig in that manner. You dig deep, then you dig another portion like a small room at the side of of the grave. So and that is called the lahd manner. So that is what the Prophet encouraged Muslims to be buried in. That is what the Prophet Sallam encouraged us to be to bury our dead with. So and but if this is not convenient, maybe because of the added nature of the soil, or some other things, so you can also use the second manner, which is called a shak, the shark manner. So you can also dig it the way you can see in the picture, so on the left side. So that is the way you bury the dead. So placing the dead on his right side facing the qibla, placing the dead on the right side, on his right side facing the qibla, on his on right side facing the qibla is also one of the things you should do while burying the dead. And lastly, pouring of sand to make a heap, a span tall. So when you bury your dead, you don't make the floor flat, you don't make it level with the floor. So you make it, come up a little bit, at least a span tall. So and a span is something around 30 centimeters or less. So something around that that level. So you make it that's at least that level. So but it can even go higher than that. So because so that people will be able to know, oh, this is a grave, this is a person has been buried here. So because there are some things you should avoid doing on a grave. So that's what we're talking about now. So what are the things to avoid doing on the grave? The first is walking or sitting on the grave. It is not, you don't walk or sit on the grave. You don't walk or sit on the grave. So, and this is one of the reasons why it is better to bury the dead Muslims in a Muslim, graveyard. So, because if you bury them at home, it is difficult to avoid it. So, if you avoid this, other people might not avoid it. So, it is not good to walk or sit on the grave. And also, you don't build upon a grave. You don't build upon a grave, whether a building or a masjid or anything. You don't build upon a grave. The grave is separate, and also the building is separate. So, it's also prohibited to plaster the grave. It's also prohibited to plaster the grave. You bury the dead in a you bury the dead in the soil without plastering. So and also we'll be talking about the paying a condolence to the bereaved, that is the one that has lost a dear one. Now this is one of the sunnah, one of the things that you only find in Islam. You only find it legislated in Islam. So the ruling is that it's sunnah. This ruling is that it's sunnah to do it. If you do it, you get your reward. You get a lot of reward, in fact. So but a person that does not do it for whatever reason, for whatever reason known to him, so it does not become a sinner. So the encouraged acts of paying condolence is that you pray for the deceased and the bereaved. You pray for the one who has died, and also the person, the family members of of that person, the close relatives of the person. You pray for them. You pray for Allah to give them the ability to bear the loss, to make them firm in iman and the likes, and prayers of that nature. So, and also you assist them in house chores, because they wouldn't be able to do all of these things due to their sad nature at that particular time. So due to their sad their sad mood at that particular time. So you assist them with all of this, and also you stay away from some acts, the discouraged acts, that like specifically organizing a gathering and ceremony. So some people, specifically organize gatherings and ceremony when a person dies. So this is not good. You can gather, but not that you specifically, specifically choose a date, and you gather and do a lot of things that some even do things that are even against the sunnah. So this is not good. So you don't specifically choose a day for gathering, and compelling the bereaved to always make food for the guests. So in some parts, it is the ones that are the close relatives that actually still take the pain to provide food for the guests, and this is not good. You don't compel them, with your visitations to always make food. You should try to assist them with this food, like we said. You should try to assist them with the house chores. So it is better that way. So, and also overburdening them overburdening the bereaved with excess unnecessary visitations. So overburdening them every time you keep, you keep visiting them, and it is not even necessary. So you keep, bothering them when they are supposed to be resting, and the like. So you keep bothering them, and this is it's a discouraged act. So this is a way. This is the way you pay condolence. This is the way you show sympathy to somebody who has lost a close one. So, and this is what Islam has taught us. Is one of the beautiful things that Islam has taught us. So this is where we stop in this video. So in the coming video we continue with some other things.